and of course Mr. Tsalkos, who's inside at the moment, but who no doubt you've had the great opportunity of meeting throughout the marketing campaign. Buyers, let me share with you the following announcements which are in place to help you bid and buy with absolute confidence here today. The auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and any additional conditions that were made available for inspection before the start of the auction. The auction rules prohibit an auctioneer from accepting bids or offers for a property after the property has been knocked down to the successful bidder. The vendors have a reserve price as the auctioneer only indicate bidders on request. The law prohibits false bids, prohibits major disruptions by bidders, and prohibits bidders attempting to prevent others from bidding, and provides for fines for such conduct. The rules permit for vendor bids. The words I'll use during the auction to indicate that I'm making a bid on behalf of the vendor are vendor bid, and by law only I, as the auctioneer, can make a vendor bid. The contract of sale has been on display prior to today's auction. We call for a 10% deposit upon the fall of the hammer and the signing of that contract to take place here today, with the balance to be paid at settlement in a flexible 30 to 60 days time, at which time the vendor will provide the lucky buyer with vacant possession of the property. All in all, quite a straightforward contract. Everything is in here, everything is quite clear. So buyers, is with my highest recommendation what we offer for your consideration and competition here today. A very easy choice for any first home buyer in the market, a very easy choice for any investor. And when you invest, you make sure that you invest in location. That's what we offer in abundance here in the heart of Thomastown, central Thomastown, walking distance to Thomastown Station, walking distance to shopping in the guise of High Street. High Street shopping, of course, not far away at all from Station Street and May Road shopping also if we head back into Laylaw. So in terms of location, ticking absolutely every single box here today. So the opportunity awaits for the astute first home buyer or investor, an opportunity that you can take advantage of now, buyers. Where can I see a fair and reasonable starting bid for 356 Heyington? Who'd like to start us off? I don't mind the call. I'm in your hands, buyers. Start me where you like. Thank you, sir. At 300,000 now, fairly been offered. At 300,000, bids in the centre, a little bit light on, but got to start, and I appreciate it. Best of luck here today, sir. At 300,000 now. At 300, the bid should be, see hands at that level at 300,000. At 25, I'll take the 25, and the same courtesy at 25 if you like, sir. At 325, the bid, and make it 50 now. At 325. At 325,000, fairly been offered now at 325. Bids here, my left, your right, opportunity with you at 25. At 325,000 now. At 325,000 for the first call at 325 and 50, and welcome back at 350,000. At 350,000, welcome rather than best of luck at 350 now. At 350,000. At 350,000, they competing with your phone bidder, Leon, at 350,000. We'll let them know it's back to the ball's back in their court at 350 now. At 350,000, fairly been offered at 350 the bid. At 350,000, once at 350, are we done? At 350, I'll take 10 if it helps. At 350, I was taking 25. Happy to get them back involved. Got to cost them 10 though. At 350 now the bid. At 350,000, once at 350, done. Twice. At 60 now, welcome, best of luck at 60. Same courtesy, sir, at 10 if you like. And over here, sir, 10 if you like, at 360 got. At 360,000, at 70 now, at 370. At 370, the quick retort at 70 now. At 370,000 now, make it 80 in the rise at 370 I have. At 370 the bid. At 370, 80 now, welcome back again at 80, 90 if you like, 400 might sound better. At 380 I have, at 380 the bid, at 380,000, fairly been offered now at 380 here on my left for the first call, at 380 and 90 now, 400 beckons now, at 390,000 and the bid's there, at 390 the bid, at 390,000, I will take the 5 at 395 and I will say that we are on the market and selling here today, at 395,000 the bid's there, the keys are there, we're on the market, we're selling at 400,000 now, even money at 4, and keys are here now at 400,000. At 400,000, if you're waiting for me to go inside and seek instructions, we won't be doing that. At 405,000, we're back here now. At 405, we won't be doing that. We're on the market and selling. My instructions have been sought and given. They are to sell. We're on the market. We sell at 10 now. Playing for keeps at 410. At 410,000, the bid's there now at 410. At 410 and 15 got. At 415. At 415,000. At 415,000, we play for keeps. Keys are in play. At 20 now. At 420,000. At 420,000, fairly been offered now at 420 the bid. We're on the market. We sell away if there's no better bid. At 420 now once. At 25 now, 425 at 4 1/4, at 425,000, at 425,030 now, at 430 got now at 430, at 430,000 your phone bid is done, Leon, at 430, at 430,000, sir, we done over here. Thank you very much for your bid here today, at 430,000, at 430,000, bids there, opportunity with you, at 430 now, once, at 430, done. I'll take the 2 if you don't mind, Ange, at 432. I'll take the 1 on top though if you've got it, at 432,000, same courtesy here, at 32 in the bids here, at 432. At 432,000, at 33 now, at 433, and the opportunity taken in front at 433. At 433,000, can you round me off to 35? At 433,000, at 433, the bid now, first call at 433,000, done. At 34, welcome, man. Best of luck at 434,000. Never too late until the hammer falls, and it hasn't fallen just yet. Will soon, though, at 434. At 434. At 434,000, bid here. Might be lucky one bid, not to be, at 34.5. At 34.5, and round me off to 35. At 434.5. At 434,500 now at 35, and welcome. Best of luck there. At 435. At 435,000. At 435, bids there. At 36. Now 436,000. We're on the home straight. This is where it counts at 7 now. At 437. At 437,000. Time to give it all you've got. At 437. Fairly been offered now at 437. At 437.5. At 437.5 rather. A little bit dyslexic with my numbers there today. At 437,500. Beats there. And 8 at 438. At 438. At 438,000, back here at 38, at 438,000, what do you say, ma'am? At 438, make it 40 in the rise. At $438,000 the bid. Are we done here, sir, ma'am? Definitely, thank you very much for your bidding here today. Are we done over here? At 438, at 500, welcome back at 438.5, at 438,500, at 438,500, bids against you, sir, at 438.5, at 438,500. At 9 now at 439. Make it 40, sir. At 439. At 439,000, the bid's there. We're done here, we're done there. Might be only 2 or 3 in it. At 439,000, fairly been offered once. At 439, all done. Twice. At 439, done. And a half at 439.5 and 40 if you like, at 40 got. At 440,000. At 440 the bid now. At 440,000, fairly been offered now at 40. At 440,000 bid there. Opportunity still with everyone else. Haven't sold it yet, but I'm about to at 440,000. If there's no further bidding, we'll sell at that. At $440,000 the bid. Once at 440, twice at 440, third, final call at $440,000 the bid, and a half now at 440.5. At 440,500, at 440.5. Is that a bid or not? Need to know. Can you confirm, sir? No. At 440,000, I'll give you a moment to think about it. 440,000. Need to confirm your bid, sir? Yes or no? No, at 440,000, key to remain with you at 440. At 440,000, first call at 440, done. Twice at 440, done and finished. Pulling rank over here at 440,000 for the third and final call at $440,000 the bid. All done, all finished, silent out. We're done here. Are we done there, sir? Definitely done. Ma'am, are we done here at 440,000? Absolutely sure. Another cheeky half. No. Definitely done. We're pulling rank all over the place here today at 440,000. So we're definitely done here. Thank you very much for your bidding here today at 440,000. Once, twice, third, final call at 40. Done, finished, silent and out. We're selling, selling, selling. So congratulations and well bid. Please join me in congratulating our purchasers and our vendors here today. You've just witnessed another successful Harcourts Rata and Co-auction. Enjoy this beautiful weather. Have a great